How are you, everybody who is watching this fantastic video? My name is Olenjolai Moko TAYAI Yosingo from Tanzania, eastern of the African continent. I'm very happy to have you today, whether you're international or a national viewer. I would like to welcome you into this fantastic moment. And I would like to take this opportunity, which is kind of golden opportunity to have you today, to welcome you into our online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai M. Well, because we are in departments of higher engineering and scientific mathematics, where that we use to solve simultaneous equations, I would like to use this terminology, which is a common terminology in mathematics. We call it simultaneous. It means we are solving two or three simultaneous equations, or four simultaneous equations, or five simultaneous equations. But here, I have the second and only question to you, which is one of our YouTube channel. We have 6 YouTube channels. This is one of them that called Online Undergrad Polyinstitute of Tanzania, in square bracket Olenjolai M. So, and these are very interesting institutions, online institutions, not the physical institution, where that I'm teaching undergraduate students, and especially for the fundamental courses of fundamental modules like engineering, higher engineering mathematics, or higher scientific mathematics. And later also we have some of the interesting or important departments also, when that you are going to teach some fundamental contents. And even later on, I don't know, that we have to keep in prayer. And this is because this is a lifetime's online institution, so we'll be growing up day after day. But currently, we have one of the very interesting departments that's called Departments of Higher Engineering and Scientific Mathematics, where really that you're teaching engineers and scientists mathematics and the beauty of mathematics, and as well as you know that, or even if that you haven't known yet, that you have to bear in your mind that mathematics is the queen of engineering, right? I don't know how mathematics, but I know mathematics also is a very important tool for science. Okay, for science scenario. But for the engineers, we know that we have to know that mathematics is a queen. So if it's a queen, means engineering, it's a king, right? So if you're an engineer, if you are a scientist, maybe engineering students, undergraduate engineering students, or scientific undergraduate students, then this is the right place for you. Even if that, because you know that sometimes some of the contents in engineering relate with some of the contents in business mathematics, let's say in biological mathematics, because we have so different areas that we apply mathematics. For instance, the topic of calculus is universal. In any kinds of the mathematics, you'll find the concepts of algebra. But even with business mathematics, according to my research, you'll find that the concepts of calculus also is common, or the concept of algebra. So we have some similarities. So regardless of what are you doing by the profession, in your profession, the issue is you should know the course outline of your module or of your course, and then you have to mix that, or you have to extract your contents from there, from the online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. So we'll be mentioning and clarifying every kinds of the contents, regardless that maybe the names of the modules of your institutions are quite different from the one that I will be using them. That's not the case. The case is the contents, because mathematics is universal. So before I go even into too much details of what I've prepared for you today, I would like just to spend a couple of the minutes just to remind you about the vision that we have, because the Word of God said that if there is no vision, people perish. So if you don't have vision, myself as the founder of this program, I'm going to perish, and not only me, and even you, my students. So if you're parents, you are your guardians, and you have undergraduate students who is pursuing an engineering course or any scientific course in Tanzania, in the Republic of Tanzania, then you have a responsibility to inform them that good news now is at hand. What I mean that when I say the good news is at hand. So now the contents for the engineering mathematics and in undergraduate scientific mathematics is available anywhere at any time. So you can access them during your school times and even during the vacations. So it means that you see now, after times, these students will experience kind of the simplicity of learning, because some people that have already provided important contents for them to go through them. So this is the vision that we have in Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania. Right? I have an assignment from God who have called me and who have given me this great gift of teaching, that I have to teach, train, incubate, lead, encourage, mentor some group of students who will be ready to take to extract knowledge from undergraduate engineering and scientific educations, combined with the knowledge of Word of God, right, in order to solve real life problems. That's the visions that we have. So our visions has three parts. The first one, you have to understand the classroom instructions, right, in fundamental courses and even your core courses. And the second part, now you have to understand what the Word of God says about engineering, about scientific, about the real life, about the mankind from the Holy Bible. And the third part, now you have a responsibility, and God is there to help you to mix this to knowledge, which are very powerful worldwide. Right? So when you mix this knowledge, then you find a particular problem which needs such kind of knowledge at the way of solution. Right? So we have different scales, different sizes of the problems, of the real life problems. We are focused on real life problems. It can take years to achieve what I'm telling you, but myself, I'm a product of what I'm telling you. I want to tell you that it means that I have been going through 11 years of preparations in teaching, right, in order for me to be capable, at least to do this online platforms to teach national and international students. So I don't care about how long will it take. What I care that will I achieve this vision. That's not a great thing. That it might take number of months, it might take number of years. So it depends on your speed, depends on your courage. So regardless of your present situations, know that the good news is at your hand. Our main goals here is not to train students to pass the year continuous assessment, the CA, or even the final exams, or we call it end of semester exams, or we call it final exams or university exams. That is the one of those are the two. Those are the two of some of our specific objectives. So it means that teaching you, preparing you to pass your continual assessment is one of our specific objectives. Teaching you to pass your end of semester exams is one of our specific objectives. Against teaching you, it means that letting you to love engineering and scientific mathematics is one of our specific objectives. What's our main objective? Our main objective here is to see our continuing students and even our graduating students who solve real life problems from the community, and even if that from the small scale where it's the family where they come from. So I know that we have a lot of things to do, and I need serious students. And I would like just to remind you that we need some of the weapons that once we continue. One of the weapons in this department, we need every student to have a scientific calculator, and we recommend Casio function 991 MS, which is original. And the good news that if you have lost yours, you have sold it, you have given, you have provided to your young brothers, don't get stressed. Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, they have to answer for that one. It means also we equip our students with the materials. So one of the material is original scientific calculator. We are selling with a cheap price. You can order it in any regions of Tanzania and we ship it with a reasonable cost. Right? So make sure that you do that. You should also have an exercise book, just like myself as your teacher, I have my exercise book here. You should have also a pen. You should have a fresh mindset so that you are ready to be taken from one point to another point. Okay, so now I think that's a general introduction is important. Today we have a module or a course which is called Differential Quotient and the Complex Variables. Very important, and this is the kinds of advancements of what you knew or what you covered in your ordinary diploma concerned about your differential questions, or what you covered in your advanced educations concerned about differential question. And this is the second topic. We are in second topic called the ordinary and singular point. We have already finished the first topic here, where we have introduced about the series that we need in order to learn about power series solution, which is the third chapter. And then we are in lecture 5, which is called the singular point. Today I'm going to teach about singular point. And this contains for Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology. It has been covered as a first year, second year, not first year, in first semester of the second year of study, right? So don't tell me in your institutions or in your college, you cover this modes of differential equation complex variable at what year, right? Second year or in first year, and in which semester? So tell me in the comment section. The good news that in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, the good news we have is we used to cover these contents, or we used to teach students, or in other words that we say that we have this interesting. Yes, we used to teach 12 courses or 12 modules. So sometimes you find that the names of these modules are a little bit different from institution to institutions, or college to college, or university to university. The issue is focused on the content. And that's why that if you refer lecture, so then we do the quick review, okay, quick review of what we have already posted lecture 00, which stated as general introductions of differential equation and complex variables. So you have to make sure that you go through, because we'll see how many modules or courses we are teaching. Simply we are teaching 12 modules, right? 4 modules from Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology, 4 modules from University of Dar es Salaam, UDIZU for Tanzania, universities, and 4 modules are from UDOM, University of Dodoma. So total make 12 modules. 6 modules in semester 1 and 6 modules in semester 2. So you have to get prepared. And this is all we are covering higher engineering and scientific mathematics for undergraduate level worldwide, right? So whether you're international viewer, maybe you're watching this content from Africa, from any African continents, then you should not get stressed. You have to know that what I'm giving you is what you have to deliver, or what you receive. So we have again lecture 1. So we have posted it in our YouTube channel, lecture 1 to lecture 4 or 40 of differential equation, because that's what we've begun to focus. Later on will come the complex variables. So let me do the quick review of what I taught you in lecture 4. In lecture 4, I taught you a concept that we call the ordinary point, because I want to link lecture 4 with lecture 5. Say ordinary point. So ordinary point, we say that first of all, we are dealing with differential equation, second order differential equation, which have variable coefficient, which are function. So p of x, second derivative, and then we have what q of x, then we have this one, which is dy, and dx, plus what r of x, y, this is equal to 0, right? So it means that we say that in order to, if a point, if we say that if p of x naught is equal to x is equal to 0, is not equal to 0, right? Then we say that then x naught is ordinary point. Otherwise, it's not an ordinary point. And if it's not an ordinary point, it is a singular point. Okay? In case you have any question, ask in the comment section. I left the homework. Did you do? Did you do the homework that I left you? Okay, if the answer is yes, you did it, but you didn't send it to me. I haven't seen it until I'm recording this lecture. But again, you are not limited. You can resend it. You can resend the comment sections of the previous homework. So let us go now to the singular point. Singular point. Say singular point. These are very important concepts in higher or differential equation complex variables, especially higher differential equation. Okay, so let us go. So we have a key point. We have a key point for this context. We say that from standardly or standardly second. So let's say from what? From standardly, standardly, ordinary, second order, ordinary differential equation, right? Standardly second order ordinary differential equation with variable coefficient. Is variable coefficient. So what do we say? It's variable coefficients we say that we have P of x, then we have dy dx squared plus q of x, then this is dy dx, right? Then we have r of x y is equal to 0. This is the general standard equation, general standard second order ordinary differential equation with variable coefficients. Also, we can rewrite this expression as P of x, then you have y double dash plus what? Q of x, then you have y single dash, then plus what? R of x, y is equal to 0. So you can call this one as equation 1 always. So you want to define a singular point. And you know that because this is the variable function, so it has its values which can be defined from negative infinity to 0 to positive infinity. Similarly to P of Q of x and similar to the R of x. So now, in order for us, we say that in order to reduce the concepts of a singular point, we say that, okay, so we say that the second step, let's say, say that divide each term of what? Of equation 1 above, right? With what? With P of x. What does it mean? We have P of x, y, single double dash. We have Q of x, y, single dash. And then we have R of x, y is equal to 0. So then we divide by P of x, and this one divide by P of x, and this one we divide by P of x. Alright? So in that case, here we have y double dash plus what? Q of x, and then over P of x, then we have y single dash plus what? R of x over P of x, y is equal to 0. So this is equation 2. Okay? So you see that now this is a very important equation once you want to understand the concept of singular point. Because remember that in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, we are trying our level best, and that's what this is the guarantee that we give you. That we like it, one of our specific objectives to let you or to transform you from hating mathematics, engineering and scientific mathematics, to love it for the rest of your life. Because I know that you used to love it. Okay, so in this equation now, what do you say that about singular point, right? So about singular point, what do you say? You say that, what is, so the question now, what is singular point? What is singular point? The question, what is singular point? And this is one of the examination question, right? Some of the years. Okay, so you say that a singular point, we say that if P of x is equal to x naught, let's say is equal to 0, or yes, whatever, is equal to, no, it's not equal to 0 for this case, x is equal to x naught, this is equal to 0. So if P of x is equal to x naught is equal to 0, then x naught is singular point. So this is intellectual definition. Singularity, singular point. So if P of x is equal to x naught is equal to 0, then the point x, is equal to x naught is called a singular point. Okay? Or you can say like this one, this way, you can say it this way. If P of x, means you can write a sentence like this one, is equal to 0, then the point, okay, the point x is equal to x naught, this is called what? This is called the singular point. So the condition for the point to be a singular is in case that P of x is equal to 0. Right? P of x is equal to 0. That's the only point for what. So this is the only condition for the point to be a singular point. Alright. So that's the first concept that you have to remember. That if P of x is equal to x naught is equal to 0, then the point x is equal to x naught is called a singular point. So before even I teach you on classification of the singular point, I would like now to give you some examples for you to understand the concept that I'm teaching you. And then we'll keep on moving smoothly with this concept of the singular point. Okay. So, example. So I don't remember the last number of the previous session. Okay, I don't remember. But let me just say example A. Then I will update once I will check. I forgot, unfortunately. Okay, so example A. Find a singular point but if I'm not mistaken, it's maybe example 12. Find a singular point of the ordinary differential equation. Ordinary differential equation below. So this is, I'm teaching you before I classify. So this is x squared. I want to teach you on how you can find singular point of a differential equation before even classifying it, whether it is regular or irregular. So I will teach about classifications of the singular point. 5y is equal to 0. So that is our differential equation, right? We'll be given a differential equation, which is the second order differential equation, and you see that the coefficient of differential coefficient of differential coefficients this is single dash, excuse me. The coefficient for the differential coefficient are functions. So solution, let me teach you how you can find this, the singular point, or even that maybe ask that to find ordinary point. But if you find ordinary point and you find that P of x is equal to 0, then you say that this is not ordinary point, but it is also a singular point. This is differential, my dear student. This word is called the differential because I know some of them. Differential question. Okay. So solution. So the first step, we say that compare the given second order ordinary differential question. Ordinary differential question. Ordinary differential question. We sort it with standard ordinary second order ordinary differential question. So let me write first of all the standard. So the standard I can write in this form, then plus what? Q of x, then y single dash, plus r of x, y is equal to 0. Right? And then we say that we've been given what? We've been given x squared minus 4. Okay? And then say what? Y double dash plus what? Plus 3. Do you enjoy the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics? Do you enjoy the beauty of differential question? Tell me in the comment section, please. And then plus what? And then plus 5y is equal to 0. So if we do compare, right, the coefficient of the second order differential coefficient, we find that P of x is equal to x squared minus 4, just like what we did noted in the previous concepts of ordinary point. Then q of x, this is equal to what? 3x minus 2. And then we have what? R of x, which is equal to 5 what? X power 0. X power 0 is equal to 1. Then after having these comparisons and having those values of the function, then now we have to enjoy the beauty of higher engineering, scientific mathematics. So Rx is equal to 5. So you go for the second step. Right? So the second step, we say that we have to recall the condition for what? For a point to be what? To be singular. For the point to be singular. What the condition? So the conditions I told that if P of x is equal to x naught, okay, is equal to 0, right? Then the point what? The point x is equal to x naught, we call it in engineering mathematics as what is called as singular point of that differential equation. Okay? Mathematics is beautiful, my dear student. Really, it's beautiful. You have to start enjoying it if you hate it. I know that what had caused you to hate this great subject, powerful subject. Teachers who have taught you. Some teachers are in between there, in between of your ordinary secondary educations and also undergraduate secondary education. Some of the teachers distracted your mind. Forgive them, repent to God, and then now accept this valid information from heaven to us. Okay? So this is the condition. But you have to remember that, and you have to note and take a note. There's a difference in case in the way or in the technique that we are using to find ordinary point and the technique that we use to find singular point. If you do remember that, just to remind you, this is just like remember, because I want to write new information in your mind. If you remember that, once we have a condition for them, because for the ordinary point we say that this should not be equal to what to 0, right? So for instance, if you are looking for the ordinary point, we say that we have there P of x is equal to x squared minus what? Minus 4, right? According to this question. You know what next? We have to substitute to find x is equal to x naught is equal to, so this is about ordinary point. I want to update this information and to 1. So x is equal to x naught is equal to 0. So we substitute in x, we substitute 0 square. Then minus 4. And then so you know that we say that the P of x naught is equal to 0. If you find that it's not equal to what? It's not equal to 0, so it's equal to negative 4. Then we say that is negative 4 equal to 0? No, so it's not equal to 0. So if not equal to 0, you say that P of x is equal to x naught is equal to what? Is equal to 0, right? Is equal to 0. This one is not equal to 0. So therefore, x is equal to x naught is what? Ordinary point. So that's how we used to solve for ordinary point. So I have new information how we can find the singular point by using the theorem stated above. So for the singular point, as we say that P of x is equal to x naught, that we'll find should be equal to 0 for a point to be what is singular point. So if that's the case, what is P of x of the equation? P of x we have been given is equal to x squared minus 4. So this one should be equal to what? This should be equal to 0 for a point x is equal to x naught to be what? Singular point. So if that's the case, you see that x minus 4 is equal to 0. Then the steady state now. So the steady state, because you have a quadratic equation, solve for it. Solve, and this will make equation 3. Solve for x in this equation. So you see the difference. That means in singular point, we just take P of x, we equate with 0, and then we solve for x. That's all. But for the ordinary point, we have to substitute x is equal to 0 in the given equations of p of x, or in a given either quadratic functions or polynomial functions or trigonometrical function or parabolic function. So in ordinary point, we have to, it means that we have to replace any x in p of x with 0. And in singular point, we have to make sure that we take the p of x, we equate with 0 and solve for x, right? Okay, so I believe that you've understood, because I got confusion when I was going, because God himself is the one who taught me this module before even I learned in the class. I thank God, because almost 50% of this module I covered during the vacation before late in the classrooms. And then when I went to the classroom, I was aware of everything that has been taught by the teacher. So if this is the case, we go for the steady state. By steady state, we are solving for x. X minus 4 is equal to 0. You can solve it by using any techniques that you know. If you use, because this is the difference of 2 squared, and this is x squared minus 2 squared is equal to 0. So it means that this is x minus 2 difference of 2 squared, x plus 40 plus 2 is equal to 0. You can use even a scientific calculator to solve. How? So by using scientific calculator, you have x squared plus 0x minus 4 is equal to 0. So just to solve a normal quadratic equation by using your original scientific calculator. Interesting. So if we equate now, we have x minus 2, this is equal to 0, the first equation, and then x plus 2, or a first factor, this is the second factor. So it means x is equal to 2, and also x is equal to negative 2. So these two values are what we call them singular points. Singularity point of differential equation. So I say that therefore, okay, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to negative 2, right? Are singular, what? Are singular points. Singular points of what? Of given ordinary differential equation. That's all. Interesting. Okay? So you have your singular points. It's quite different from ordinary point. If you've been given the same equation, find ordinary point, we find it is also ordinary point. It has ordinary point, it has singular point. It's possible in mathematics. Right? It's possible. It's really possible. Okay. So then that is an example. That's all about that example. I have to teach you also some other examples, some few other examples in order for you to understand this concept. So you have to think how you can take this information and solve real life problems. So you have to stay connected there. So for you to think. Okay, so let us proceed. Just need to, because I've checked in the previous session, the comments for the previous session, and I found that I left the homework, which was example 11. So this example that we have done is example 12. So now I'm going to teach you example 13. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, you have to keep on focusing and enjoy the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics, and especially for the differential question, which we call it, it's a kind of advanced differential question, so higher differential question. So if that's the case now, let me give you the second example that for finding singular points. If you're joining us right now, you're warmly welcome. This is a fantastic session where we are learning about how we can find the ordinary point of the differential question. So we have now, this is example. So that example A, possibly that I wrote example A, just write example 12. So this is example 13. So in this example 13, the questions ask us that to find all singular point. I haven't told you, the next lecture, which will be lecture 60, I'll teach about classification of the singular point. Right now, I didn't teach you. I'm teaching you to find the singular point in general, right? So find all singular point, right? All singular points. Find all singular points. Okay? In the given differential equation below. So what the given differential equation below? So this is x minus pi over 2, right? X minus pi over 2 is the second derivative of y with respect to x. And then we have plus what? Plus cos of x. Then first derivative dy dx. And then we come to it plus what? Sine sine of what of x, then this what times y is equal to 0. So this is the second example that I'll be teaching you on how you can find the singular point of a given differential equation. So you have to keep on enjoying the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics. So you see that, so solution. So for the way that these questions look like, maybe like a kind of a complicated equation, differential equations. Why? Because you see that the coefficient of differential, or the differential coefficient, for here it is polynomial. This is polynomial function, this is 3D function. All right? So that's the case. Also, it means that we can write in another form. We have two forms that of differential equation that we are using. So we'll be following some steps. How many steps do we follow for the first solution? So basically we follow 2 to 3 steps. Okay? 2 to 3 steps are enough. So then the first step we say that let us compare the given ordinary, the given second order ordinary differential equation with what? With the standard ordinary second order second order ordinary differential equation, right? So in this case, what do you say that? You have x minus pi over 2, then so you can write that this one is y double dash. Just need to budget the space. We have cosine of x, and then so you have y single dash, then so you have again so it is sine of what? Sine of x y is equal to 0. So I have to compare it with p of x, y double dash plus what? Q of x, y single dash plus what? R of x, y is equal to 0. So if that's the case, you have to keep on enjoying. You are allowed. Right now, I've told you, if I teach you just in the first example, and then you know the ways how you can solve this problem. So you're allowed to pause the video from the beginnings there, and then you solve it yourself on your own, and then you play the video, continue to watch my solutions, and you compare with what you've done. So you cannot see your weak area, you cannot see that where you've made a mistake and rectify it as a great undergraduate engineering and scientific student. So if we do compare, so compare this coefficient of the second derivative. So what do you find? You find p of x is equal to x minus pi over 2, right? And then so you have what against? So you have against q of x is equal to cosine of x. Later on, when I will teach about classifications of the singular point, then I will teach you how you can use this other differential coefficient, which are q of x and r of x. But at this moment, you don't see where do we use them. But later on, when I will teach about classifications of singular point, because in mathematics, in higher mathematics, we have regular singular point and irregular singular point. So that is lecture 6. You have to make sure to join me, because I will break and reveal the secrets on those points. So after comparison, we go for the second step. On the second step, you have to recall. You have to recall what? You have to recall the condition for a point that's not to be what? To be singular point. So singular point. So we have defined. Okay? We say that if p of x is equal to x naught, this is equal to 0, then point if a certain point, which is our origin, The point x naught is what? So the point x naught equal to is a singular point. Is a singular point. A singular point. So that's the condition. So remember that in the previous example, I did the distinctions that can be given the same questions you have been asked. You'll be asked to find the ordinary points and the singular point. So the technique that we follow on finding the singular points is quite different from the techniques that we used to find ordinary point. So I think that you remember. So in this case or in this example, I'll be dealing with I'll be dealing with a differential. I'll be dealing with only how we can find a singular point. I won't deal with ordinary point because I'm done with that. Okay. So if that's the case, you say that, okay, so what is P of x? So P of x, according to what will be given, is x minus pi over 2. If you are looking for the singular point, it means that you have to introduce x is equal to x0 or x is equal to 0 at this point or in this term or 40 of x. But you're not looking for the singular. I told the distinction between singular and what? Between singular and so I said that P of x is equal to x naught. So the distinction between singular and ordinary point, we said that for the singular, we need that this point, when we substitute this point, give us 0. So we say x minus pi over 2. This is equal to 0. Make x the subject. Make x the subject. This is 2 of pi over 2. So that's the value. Right? So if this is the value, or that the value, what do we say? So find pro. Excuse me, please. So then that's the end. That's the value. That's the singular point. We have only one singular point according to the nature of the question. So therefore, we say that the singular point, say singular point is what? So the singular point is x is equal to pi over 2. Now, so let me give you, let me do example 14, then I'll leave a homework for you so that you can go through it. And again, I remind you, in case that you feel from heart you want to offer God, you are free willing thanksgiving through this program. Don't hesitate yourself. Your offerings are really in need to make sure that we change the world, to change our own nation. For the more lectures of 40 of an online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania to be in aim. So this is example 14, because that one was example 13. So this is a little bit concept, but I will help you. Find all singular points of all a differential question. On a differential question below. Have x squared minus 1 plus x minus 1 divided by x plus x squared y is equal to 0. So that they given differential question. That what it means to find all the singular point. What does the term all means? The term all means that you can find more than one singular point. So the question asks you that to find all of them, so to find only one. Okay? So we follow our 2 steps. First step, we say that compare. The given all the differential question with standard ordinary second order ordinary differential question. Okay? So what is standard equation? Or what the given equation? X squared minus 1 plus x minus 1 y dx and plus x squared y is equal to 0. Okay? So in this case, you have to compare with p of x, second derivative in y dx, plus what q of x, y dx, plus what r of x, y is equal to 0. Okay? So if you do compare, you find p of x is equal to x squared, then you open bracket x squared minus 1. Then q of x, this is equal to what? Is equal to x minus 1. Then you have r of x. R of x, this is x squared. And r of x is equal to x squared. Right? So that's the first comparison. Then we go for the second state. The second state, we say that recall what? Recall the condition for point, the condition for x naught to be singular. Do you remember the condition, my beloved student? To be singular point. Okay? So the condition is, we say if p of x is equal to x naught is equal to 0, no, okay, this one is equal to 0, then x naught is singular point. The singular point. So the point x naught, you say that the point x naught is a singular point. Okay? So if that's the case, what do you say that? You say, okay, fine. So what is p of x? P of x is x squared, then you have x squared minus 1. And this is equal to what? To 0. Right? So you have 2 options. You can expand or you can just equate. The first equations, it is x squared is equal to 0. And also the second equation is x minus 1 is equal to 0. Because even if you expand, you get x power 4 minus x squared. So no need for you to expand because you'll be wasting time. So then the next step, we have to find the square root of this value and square root of this one. Square root of x is equal to 0. And here we are. So you have x. So x squared is equal to 1. So then you have to find the square root of this. So you find that x is equal to 1. So these are the 2 singular points. But this one to be, because we have a square root, it will be plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 1. Okay. So after solving, we have today in this ordinary differential equation, which contain variable coefficient, we have how many singular point? 3 singular point. So the first one is x is equal to 0. The second one is x is equal to square root of 1, which is equal to plus or minus 1. So therefore, x is equal to 0, x is equal to positive 1, and the x is equal to negative 1 are singular point. Singularity. So that's the end of that question, which you have been asked to solve. Okay, at the end. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a time when I have to give you the homework. This is homework 5, and this is example 12, 13, 14, 15. So far, 12 sheet. Find all singular points. Find all singular points of the differential equation given below. Find all the singular points of the ordinary differential equation below. So what are differential equations? We give you quickly, and then in this session you have to be invited in the next session. 1 minus x squared y double dash minus twice x y single dash plus 4y. So the question, find all the singular points of the differential equation below. This is the coefficient, polynomial, coefficient, polynomial. So then this is what you say the end of this session of session 1, that is singular point. So I'll teach you about classifications when I take it further in the next lecture of lecture 6. I thank God who have created me in his image and likeness. Thus I also thank God who have given me power and permissions to do this. I thank God who have built the teaching in my mind, my heart, because I received this gift from him. And I thank God also for the moments that I had with you, so I had you. You had so many different activities that was going on in your mind. And then you said, okay, no, let me just join and learn something, and then I continue with other activities. You have made the good decisions. I believe that I didn't let you. And these are the kinds of the troublesome earlier concept in the differential equation. Okay? So may God bless you and keep you safe once that we meet, when we meet in lecture 60. And then inform your young brothers, your elder brothers, inform them. So they're believers, inform them. Okay? Because they're going to get something exceptional for the rest of their life. So this is the end of this session. May God bless you abundantly, and may you prosper in academics. So may God bless you abundantly.